Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. With me, as usual, for the Imprint announcements is Philip Jeffries from COVID and Cult Film. We're going to be talking about the August releases from Imprint. It was quite interesting to see them lean into the sort of film focus box sets after announcing Gene Hackman last month, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess we kind of pondered that it was something that was coming, or we
hmm
posited that it would be something. We hypothesized that it would be something that would be a continuing series, sort of like the neo noir After Dark series, which I
Mm,
hope they do another one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was hoping that we were maybe going to get one this month. Like I knew After
hard,
Dark 3.
hard box July though, man. Whew. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a lot of
yeah, that
hard
was a
boxes.
it was a big one. Let's dive into um, the initial
Jennifer
set they've got here.
Connelly.
Yes. Uh, Now we've got three films here. We've got Career Opportunities, Waking the Dead, and House of Sand and Fog. Have you seen any of these?
I saw House of Sand and Fog many, many years ago. It was sort of one of those
Yeah.
Oscar bait films that really didn't, for me, live up to the hype. And I remember my mom when it came out, because I would have
Mm.
been like, I don't know, 16 or 17. She saw it. She's like, "Oh, this is shit." And I saw it and I was like, "This is, yeah, shit. I don't know." So it's an Oscar bait film. If you're into that, have at it.
I remember seeing Career Opportunities faintly, and I think I saw House of Sand and Fog, which I think was Deakins did the cinematography on that one. I
Oh, I
think,
didn't.
yeah,
He's in that.
but I can't remember too much about it. So let's see. Career Opportunities. Jim Dodge is a smooth-talking small-town guy with a knack for pulling up a front, but no talent for holding down a job. Jim's life suddenly takes a turn for the fantastic when he finds himself locked inside the local department store one night with Josie McClellan, the daughter of the town's wealthiest citizen. This was written by John Hughes right around the kind of time where he was hitting his stride, I suppose, or well on. It's a 2K scan. We've got a new audio commentary. We've got an interview with the cinematographer and an interview with actors Dermot and Kieran Mulroney. Um,
I love Dermot Mulroney, and he's still like working tons. So I mean, imprints
yeah.
are, again, they are pulling, and we'll see as we go on. They are pulling people that are still very much active
hmm
and in the biz. Connolly, I guess they're not getting any of the actresses and actors for the sets,
yeah.
but I
Which
mean
is a
they
shame.
are they are getting people that are still very, very active and not just actors. So
hmm
yeah.
From 2000, we have Waking the Dead. When one man's 70s idealism confronts his 80s aspirations, he begins an emotional roller coaster that brings ghosts back to life and asks the ultimate question: does love conquer all, even death? This stars Billy Crudup as well as Jennifer Connelly.
Crude up,
Crudup, sorry.
you
I,
savage.
I always say that. And I don't think I'm ever going to change. So there we go. We have this is a 2K scan. We've got a commentary by director Keith Gordon, um, you know, from Christine. We've got an audio
Mhm.
commentary by a film critic, interview with the director, interview with actor.
Billy Crudup,
Yep. We've got a making
and
of
he's still
archival feature.
and he's still a big name. I mean,
Mm,
and he's in some series. I don't know if it's Apple TV Plus or whatever. I've lost track of all the streaming services, but
yeah.
he's in some kind of like sci-fi sort of show, and he's also, with Naomi Watts. So I mean,
Mm.
again, as I said, Imprint are getting that reputation like Criterion do, where it's like people are like, I gotta do an interview for this, because they
Yeah.
are special. Imprint are special.
Yeah, and Keith Gordon, I've seen him talk a few times on various discs, and he's always interesting as well. I kind of like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
And finally, we have House of Sand and Fog. An Iranian colonel, forced to flee the life he once knew, pours the remainder of his life savings into the purchase of a house that he believes will, at last, bring back his family's prosperity. But a bureaucratic bungle has left the original owner, recovering drug addict Kathy Nicola, unjustly evicted. We've got an audio commentary with actor Ben Kingsley, the director and the novelist, which is an interesting addition, I suppose. And then you've got 3 new interviews here, whose names I won't butcher. I've already butchered one name that should have been easy, so I won't tackle these 3.
Loser.
Yeah. Maybe if I had a beer, I'd
yeah. Maybe. It helps me. It helps me think. Makes me smarter.
So, are you sold on this set? Is there anything here that grabs you? You're not?
Nope.
Nope, not for you.
Nope. And you know what? I'm happy because Imprint. There's always going to be a month where it's like, everything, like the Hard Box July, hard. I grabbed everything.
That's a bad one. That was a bad month for a bad as in good.
Wallets, wallets, yeah.
Next up here we have Film Focus, Jessica Lange.
I love Jessica Lange, and I love Jennifer Connelly as well. And also somebody in the group, the Imprint group said, "Is like, why isn't Phenomena isn't in the box set?" It's like, well, Arrow released it, Synapse released it. You can import them to Australia. It's not going to be in the box set, and it's 4K.
Yeah,
it's done.
The idea, I think, of these Film Focus sets is to put out movies that aren't like household names. They don't typically grab you. Like the Gene Hackman one, the movies all sounded interesting, but I hadn't heard of any of them before. So, like, I love the discovery aspect, and that's what I want. I don't want a set. I mean, like of all movies that I've seen multiple times.
Even though Phenomena is great, and I'll put it on anytime I want. But yeah,
absolutely. Let's see what we have here. We've got Frances from 1982. Despite having a controlling mother and constant disapproval from her father, a 16-year-old girl is swept off her feet into the glory of Hollywood. But with her strong political opinions and flamboyant love life, and then imprisonment, she falls further into the depths of misfortune. Now, there was 2 Academy Award nominations for this, one for Jessica Lange and one for Kim Stanley from Seance in a Wet Afternoon. Have you seen this one?
Seance on a Wet Afternoon? I have not, but you did send me a copy, and I haven't watched it. Sheepishly, I admit to not having watched it yet. It's sitting on my overflow pile just over yonder. So, yeah.
Yep. So it says here that Frances was created by the team behind The Elephant Man, writers and producers. So,
Mel Brooks.
Yeah. And extras on this one that are notable is from a 2K scan. We've got a commentary by the director and David Gregory. Interview with the producer, a new interview with the director, and interview with the production designer.
David Gregory, is that the Severin guy?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's only kind of David Gregory that I know of.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting.
I'm sure there's many
interview with Jessica Lange in this one. He's saying there's many David Gregorys, yes, but it does jump out at you.
Yeah. And he's a great listen. I mean, he's always a great watch, listen, whatever. He's great. I love that.
100%. Next up, we have Crimes of the Heart. Babe has just shot her husband. Lenny worries that men will no longer find her attractive, and Meg returns from Hollywood after a nervous breakdown. The 3 eccentric sisters reunite and support each other through their exasperating succession of mistakes and misfortunes. Crimes of the Heart. Jessica Lange, Diane Keaton, and Sissy Spacek play the 3 sisters. Does that interest you?
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Beresford is a really good director. He did Breaker Morant, which is I have on Criterion, and he also did the another film that's in the Imprint catalog, which is Double Jeopardy, which is which if you don't remember, it was a huge hit back in like '99 or whenever it came out. That was at the top.
Earlier.
Yeah, top of the box office for 3 weeks of the American box office. But it does, and they got Beresford, so there you go. It does, but again, I gotta, there's stuff coming down the pike that I can't have.
So you get an audio commentary by Karen Horsley, interview with the director, like you said, and an interview with the playwright. On this one, there's this new extras. Next up, we have Music Box from 1989. Chicago attorney Ann Talbot agrees to defend her Hungarian immigrant father against accusations of heinous war crimes committed 50 years earlier. As the trial unfolds, Anne probes for evidence that will not only establish his innocence, but also lay rest to her own agonizing doubts about his past. I like the idea of that one. I don't think I've seen it, but I do like courtroom kind of drama things where you can almost envisage the story, how it's unfolding through the statements.
Yeah.
So we got it from a 2K scan. We've got a new audio commentary. We have an interview with the screenwriter Joe Esterhaus.
And he's on the new Showgirls that's coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, which I do have on order. So there you go.
So do I. A new interview with Irwin Winkler, the producer. An interview with the production designer. A new interview with Michael Rooker, and a new interview with actor Lucas Haas. So
and
that's
both of those guys, especially Rooker, are still very active. Very active. And I just wanted to point one thing about Esterhaus. I wish I could find. I have a whole stack of Mad magazines that are like like that. It's huge. And Esterhaus, there was a whole Mad magazine article that was written about how much of a hack he was, and it came out shortly after Showgirls, and it's so funny. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we all kind of know the stories of Esterhaus, so I'm quite interested to see how he's like now. On to the last one in this box set, which is Losing Isaiah, which is one that I have seen. When a crack addict single mother accidentally leaves her baby in a dumpster while high, the child is adopted by a warm-hearted social worker. Years later, the mother has gone through rehab and holds a steady job, and upon learning her child is still alive, challenges for custody of the child. No, it's got a 2K scan, but it doesn't really have any new extras as yet, but it does say special features to be confirmed.
Sounds like
a what? No, and you go.
Like a White Knight kind of film. Like Halle Berry is a crack addict, White woman comes to her rescue. I don't know the movie, but there were a lot of them that came out around that time, and they still were like, you look at the Blind Side, like these sort of White Knight,
Yeah, this set, how does this one interest you at all? Is it maybe one to get further down the line?
Nope.
No, not for you.
Nope.
And then, so we have 2 box sets, and then we have 3 individual releases. So let's jump on to the first one, Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle. So Dorothy Parker remembers the heyday of Algonquin Round Table, a circle of friends whose barbed wit, like hers, was fueled by alcohol and flirted with despair. Now, just a quickly run through some of the cast here. So we've got Jennifer Jason Leigh, Campbell Scott, Matthew Broderick, Peter Gallagher, Jennifer Beals, Andrew McCarthy, Wallace Shawn, Gwyneth Paltrow, Heather Graham, Stephen Baldwin, and Stanley Tucci.
You got me sold at Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah. I can't remember what they said. There's a Baldwin in just about every movie, is there not? So
there's even a Billy Baldwin in Too Old to Die Young. So there you
go. Yeah. So this one has a new interview with Campbell Scott, a new interview with the director, and then some archival interviews as well. Now, I watched the trailer for this one, and it did look a hell of a lot of fun.
This is one I am picking up, yes. I will have this on, because, again, if I'm gonna do the whole shebang, I'll just go direct via Imprint.
Hmm.
But I will place I will, you know, through my store, I'll put my name down for it because they get limited
Hmm.
quantities, and so I'm going to get this one. My mom says she's seen it before and says it's great. And Jennifer Jason Leigh is one of my favorite actresses of all time,
Hmm.
and it's not a surprise that she doesn't show up on anything because I read somewhere she just doesn't give interviews at all. I know she did some interviews for the Hateful Eight, but that was
Yeah.
also because they're pushing for her to get an Oscar,
Hmm.
which I think personally, I don't know who won that. You can't remember. Who cares? No one remembers. But I think she should have won for Daisy Domergue for
Yeah.
Hateful Eight. She was so good in that. But yeah, she just doesn't do it. She doesn't do those, so
Yeah.
you'll never see her on a disc.
And I feel like a lot of the boutiques have been releasing like a lot of our movies over time. You know, you got she was in one of the primetime Panic movies for
Yes,
SCE. She was in one of the
sister,
previous Imprint
sister,
Sister Sister. She was in one of the previous Imprint releases that came out 2 months ago, I think, Georgia.
Georgia. Yeah,
So yeah, so she's like, and it's interesting to see her in these kind of roles. She's always great. The films might not always be great, but she's
she was
always good.
also in Rush in the After Dark neo noir one set. That
Yeah.
movie is wow,
Mhm.
wow, wow, wow. Yeah, yeah, she's great.
On to Blue Car from 2002. Having been abandoned by her father and neglected by her overworked mother, young Meg turns to her English teacher for solace and inspiration. But the safety of what begins as a mentoring relationship turns increasingly complex. Now, it's from a 2K scan. You get a new interview with the director and a new interview with the main actress in this one as well. Now, I watched the trailer for this. Have you seen this?
Oh, for sure. No,
Yeah,
I
one of your faves? Yeah.
up there. It's up there, man, with Blade Runner and oh yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know shit about it.
Yeah, had a look at the trailer. It looks interesting. I think it's going to be one of those movies that's just good, but almost forgettable. Look at it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's some aspects that in the trailer that are not within this short synopsis here. I'll say that. So,
Look, man, shelf space is also becoming an issue,
yeah.
dude. So, like, yeah.
So let's jump on to the final title of this month, which is Searching for Bobby Fischer. Joss Waitzkin is a typical 7-year-old who happens to be a chess prodigy. His father, a sports writer, is determined to see his son become a champion. Searching for Bobby Fischer is about the heartwarming journey of discovery as a father and son learn that one thing neither can afford to lose: their love for each other. Have you seen this film? This
I
is
went
probably
to
the biggest
s-
film.
I went to see this when I was a child in 1993, the
Mm.
same year that Jurassic Park came out, and I saw that 7 times in the theater. And I remember my folks dragging me to see this because I just sort of like, oh, it didn't seem like something I'd want to see. And I loved it. And I've seen it. I haven't seen it in God knows how long. I mean, well over 20 years since I was a child when it came out on
Mm.
VHS. And yeah, I will be picking this up. I'll put my name down for this because
Yeah.
nostalgia, and it is a very, very good film. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great, and there's just a little bit at the bottom, which normally I don't look at Rotten Tomatoes, but it just says that it boasts a 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes still,
Does it?
um,
Wow. I'm not
and it's
surprised. I'm not
yeah,
surprised.
we get an audio commentary by film historian. We get an interview with the writer on the score, with writer Brian Satterwhite on the score. You get an interview with the writer director Steve Zalian, which is a kind of big get, I guess.
Big, big. And he also, not just Schindler's List and all that, but he also wrote I believe it came out in 2015, The Night Of with John Turturro and Riz
Yeah.
Ahmed, which is one of the best miniseries ever made. And it was originally supposed to star James Gandolfini, but then he died, and he was still had a producer credit on it. And John Turturro stepped in. It's incredible. And the late Michael K. Williams is in it. So yes, Zalian is a huge, huge get.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm all in. Yeah, all
in. And if you want to get the bundle, it's there for $300 in which case you're getting, was it 10 movies all in, which is a lot. They are releasing a lot of movies each month. It's just interesting.
More than any company, I think, except for if you bundle all the OCN bullshit with Vinegar Syndrome. So
and if you go into the selling fast, there's not a great deal here. Anything jumping out at you? I know the last time you recommended The Dawn Is Dead.
Again, buy that movie. What just went out of print actually was a film about a lady that I know, Michelle Alexander. This film just went out of print, and it's about Michelle. We've talked about her before.
I keep looking at this Dead Again. I keep being tempted to pick it up.
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I think I may go for it once it got finished on here. I think it's something I might go for.
Why not?
Have you watched any other Imprint discs recently, or anything you've been?
To be honest, no. Just because I'm waiting on Uptight, which I have down at my store, and The Bounty and Milena with Monica Bellucci, who is, they just started shooting Beetlejuice 2, and she's Beetlejuice's wife, apparently. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm totally down. So
I think most recently, I think the last one I watched was The Gift.
I watched that too.
Did you watch that? It's just, what a fantastic film.
It is. It's predictable in points, but it's still so well made, and so it's just it is a really great film. And then you look at the cast too, and everyone's firing on all cylinders, and it's really wonderful.
Yes, it's at that time where Sam Raimi hadn't quite got it into the blockbusters yet, and he was just making like really solid films. I keep hoping that someone's going to release a fantastic edition of A Simple Plan.
Oh my God, that movie is so good.
Yes.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Imprint will be the one to do it. Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they seem to really dig that. That could be in a neo-noir box set.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Billy Bob Thornton was. I know they have a One False Move coming out from Criterion on 4K, and Billy Bob actually shows up with Carl Franklin to do an interview there. But I'm fine with my Neo Noir 2 One False Move Blu-ray. I'm fine with that. I don't need the 4K. And you get other stuff on there that is not on the Criterion. So,
yeah.
I'm pretty much Imprint all the way. Like, Criterion bored the shit out of me, and I used to be a very big Criterion guy. So,
Yeah, I'm enjoying what Imprint are dropping at the moment. Most of the time.
I mean, even if my words have been lukewarm over this month, that means I'm actually happy, because I know that there's going to be, I know I'm going to get hit,
Yeah.
But no, I've been watching other stuff, like really going into Yakuza films. I don't want to steal Imprint's thunder or anything from this video, but I watched Yakuza Graveyard from Radiance, and might be one of my favorite Yakuza films. So I'm going to probably go back on a Yakuza kick. So
yeah, I need to pick that one up. I haven't got to it as yet. But yeah, have you anything else to add before we wrap this up?
No, not really. I mean, if you want to check out my content, you can. I'm in associated channels, and I did a review of the new Anna Nicole Smith documentary, just a short 10-second review. And I got more views than I've ever gotten on anything on my channel. My channel is like a micro channel. You can't even find it like through searches. You can only find it down below. And oh, the backlash I got. And you know what I wanted to say? I'm sorry.
Okay, so there we have it. On that apology, we will see you next month where we talk about the next Imprint drop, which will be for the September releases. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.